Now, if the words crypto crash or bear market have made you panic about an NFT project that you're thinking of creating or you have in the pipeline, you might be thinking to yourself, well, what's the point? Now, if we look at a timeline of events, we'll see that things have dramatically changed from 2020 all the way through to 2022. So now that we're in 2023, the question is it all worth it, or are there actually some strong opportunities to be had? Well, if you have a project already in the pipeline and you're just thinking of canning it, well, what you're actually doing is you're really letting down in the short term all those people that have invested in your project to date, and you're actually doing your brand and your business a disservice in the long run. And ultimately that means the trust to your project and you as a person will be much, much lower. And if you've not even launched a project yet, but it's been something that you've been wanting to do, if you decide to not go ahead with that, you're missing out on a wealth of education by doing in the Web3 space, and therefore holding yourself back as this whole world evolves into something new, and you actually won't be part of it. So you might be asking by now, what's the solution? Well, actually, we need to turn to businesses of yesteryear and days gone by to actually see what they've been doing to see how we'll operate in this new iteration of the internet. And the reason why I say this is that there have been some hugely successful brands who have launched in the many, many years gone by, and those strategies are being emulated by these Web3 counterparts who are doing really amazing things in the space. So in this video, I'm going to be taking you through what the solution is and how you can implement these strategies into your NFT project so that your project looks like it's coming back to life or being reborn rather than just flatlining like a lot of others out there. But before we get on to your project, we need to look at those great projects of yesteryear and actually turn back time to BC, before colour. I love nothing more than to turn to our very recognisable friend, Mickey Mouse. Now, when this lovable cartoon mouse stopped riding steamboats and started to put his business hat on, he and some other suited guy with a questionable moustache saw that there was a bigger opportunity than just cartoons. Now, does that sound familiar? Now, once this cute character was established, that questionable guy with the moustache actually looked at the popularity of Mickey Mouse and thought, actually, what more can I do? Where can I go beyond animation? So at that point, we then saw a comic book strip, and not too long afterwards, we even saw a book come out. And not too long after that, we saw a furry companion to accompany Mickey and open up the doors to lots of dog lovers who are now finding another cartoon character that they can really relate with. And it didn't just stop there, a whole host of other famous characters suddenly came into the foreground. And then, based on the popularity of these characters, we saw that whole world expand. Merchandise, movies, games. Yes, you guessed it, they thought of it. And each of these characters became their own sub-brands with their own toys and clothes. And guess what? One big house to house them all in. So you see, whether there's a cartoon mouse or a JPEG of any description, there is an opportunity to always grow that brand. So now let's fast forward to today and look at those Disney-esque brands in Web3 that really are building in the bear, and look at how they are implementing those strategies to make sure that they thrive when things are down. And then we can look at how we can implement them into our own NFT projects, past, present, and future. Now, what I'm really getting at with this video, and the word that really sums up everything that all these Web3 brands and also brands of yesteryear did, starts with a D. Yes, I'm talking about diversifying. And here's some great examples of big projects in the space right now and what they're doing to diversify. Because to be honest, it's pretty impressive, but it's not reinventing the wheel. So let's start with VeeFriends. Gary Vee, the king of marketing, yes, that guru, jumped on the NFT bandwagon and created his very own NFT project. And it did really well. You know, he proved you didn't need to have a work of art to make a mint out of NFTs. His back of a paper napkin doodles fetched thousands during the NFT hype. But Gary predicted that there would be a number of projects that actually would go to zero. And you know what? He wasn't wrong. Not only was he right, but he actually got to work. He expanded the brand so much more beyond the initial NFT, from the book games to Uno cards, conferences, and even now plush toys. And you guess what? the fans absolutely loved it. Now, if we look at Neons, this is a Tezos-based project from the digital artist Sutu. And he actually took a digital route to market. He didn't just expand into phygital items, but he actually looked at what the digital space could do, and he built on that. And what that did was take the project way beyond its initial NFT as well. And in this interview, if you want to find out more, he talked to me about his inspiration being Disney and also the Star Wars franchise, and taking his project into something that is living way beyond even him necessarily, and creating that brand with longevity. And what I'm saying by that is animated series, metaverses, movies, and beyond. So that is going to be huge for his project. And finally, obviously I can't talk about this without talking about Yuga Labs, the masterminds and pioneers behind the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Yes, they feature a lot in my videos, but with good reason. The first thing they did to diversify was to give commercial rights to their wallet holders. And what that meant was that all of their community, their fandom, basically did a lot of marketing for them and created lots and lots of sub-brands, from burger bars to coffees, beers, and beyond. As well as this, very early on, because of their popularity, they looked to build their brand through merchandise. So hoodies and trousers and caps and all those kind of things. And those things sell on places like eBay for hundreds of dollars. And most importantly, with their understanding of Web3 and the possibilities, they jumped very, very quickly and used a lot of their profits to reinvest into their business so that they could create their very own gaming metaverse called The Other Side. And some of this was gifted to current holders of the NFTs of the Bored Ape Yacht Club, the Mutant Ape Yacht Club. But really what they've done is create a whole other revenue within itself that generates so much more money on the secondary market and expands what they can do without losing the core essence of the brand. And to test this, they actually predated it with a mobile game which went down an absolute storm with the community as well. So you see, there are lots of ways in which these bigger brands are really trying to diversify in order to stay afloat in challenging times. And just because they're big brands doesn't mean they always were. In just a couple of years ago, they were as small as you and I with big ideas. And none of these strategies are revolutionary, but what they do show is that each of these businesses and brands understand their communities and what their community and fan base actually want from them. Not just now, but in the future as well. And they've understood this by implementing the future thinking of Web3, but with those current strategies that we see in the Web 2 space. Now, coming up just after this, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to implement this into your own project with a very handy little checklist that you can start right now. But first, let's take a little NFT break. Oh, hello, you've just caught me on another NFT break. Well, whilst I've got you here, I just wanted to let you know that we're really pleased to say that we've partnered with the Tezos ecosystem for this video. Tezos is the blockchain that you can build, play, and collect on, and its ecosystem is home to developers, creators, and innovators from all around the world. It's also super environmentally friendly with an average energy footprint of just 17 global citizens. Now, knowing that, along with low gas fees and sustainability through innovation, you can rest assured that this is a green, clean blockchain. And don't just take my word for it. Some of the world's biggest brands are building their futures on Tezos, including Ubisoft, the New York Mets, Red Bull Racing, McLaren F1, and even Manchester United. So a huge thanks to the Tezos ecosystem for partnering with us on this video. And if you want to find out more about the Tezos blockchain, then make sure you check out all of the links in our description box below. But for now, let's get back to business. Okay, so as I promised, here is a checklist that I think is going to really help you to implement certain key strategies and understandings to diversify your brand in the Web3 space. Now, if this is something that you are thinking about doing or is something you are currently doing, you can implement each of these regardless. And remember, you don't have to reinvent the wheel in Web3. Take all of that business learning from the Web 2 space and reapply it to what we're doing in the future. These things aren't going to go away. They're there for you to build and build and build on. So don't worry about what crypto's doing right now. think about what your business is doing right now. You're building a business and you're building core strategies that shouldn't be ignored. So make sure you take the time whilst the markets are slightly down and really do take that phrase, building the bear, to heart and do things in the right way for your business for the long term. And of course, if you want any more information on creating fantastic NFTs or learning more about the space, then check out videos like these. They're here to help you. And of course, I'm here to help you as well. So please do leave me a comment in the description box below and I'll be there to answer your questions if you have them. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time.